school got closer and closer. It seemed like I always went to school way at the back of the alphabet. So you just had to sit there and wait.
See, I went to school. I've never lived anywhere else other than California. So we never had snow days ever. When I found out kids got to stay home, like when it snowed, I was like, wait, what? Like we never had any days that we had to stay home.
Yeah, so I thought you guys had heat days though, didn't you? Didn't you?
No.
Really? Oh, I always thought that.
Not when I was little.
They've had like a couple of years ago, the wildfires got close enough to some schools. The smoke was bad that they actually closed school for the day for like smoke because they were worried about the air quality or whatever. But yeah, no, it's crazy. I can't explain how this is, but even though they're doing school at home right now, they still get snow days. My daughter in the Midwest.
Really?
If everybody's at home, how's it a snow day? I don't get
just
it. But
log on.
anyway.
Let's see. Where am I going here? Oh my gosh. I have so much sheet music on my computer now for Chops and Coffee and lessons. It's like I gotta start deleting some of this stuff. It's like if you look at like my downloads, it's just like all charts.
Jason, don't you have like a vintage Gretsch though? Don't you have like an awesome? I see pictures of you have like a Gretsch or something, don't you?
Oh, that kit.
Yeah, that kit. That's all you have to say is that kit.
Oh no, that's it's a Mapex Mars from the mid '90s. You remember the band Biohazard?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
That's Danny's old kit. I bought it direct from Billy. It was like a backup. It was like a backup in a studio kit. It's for just being that little kit that doesn't look like much. That thing's a freaking monster. It's maple mahogany. It's like I have silent strokes on it, and it's like my upstairs neighbors above my garage don't like me very much. Yeah, it's a great kit. I love it. It doesn't look like much, but it sounds good.
I'm really tired today, man. Up till like 11 tracking drums over here. Well, no, I got locked in. So I was here chilling. Wife brought me dinner, finished the lessons for the day, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna get started. And there's like a band playing, so I was like, I can record, but I can't really record. There's a chance that it might bleed over into what I'm recording, and then so I got locked into watching Boys in the Hood. And I was like, I just couldn't, like, it was on TV, so then I was dealing with commercials, and I was just like, damn, dude.
Hey, Corey, did you see Get Hard with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell?
I don't think I saw it. No.
Oh, there's a hysterical, I won't go through the whole thing, but basically Kevin Hart cons Will Ferrell into thinking that that Kevin Hart went to prison. And there's a whole reason why. But the story that he tells him is basically the plot line from Boys in the Hood. And Will Ferrell has no idea that's what's going on. And it's in front of Kevin Hart's daughter and wife. And so Will Ferrell leaves the room, and Kevin Hart real quick turns to his daughter and says, now, Daddy never went to prison. And his daughter looks at him like, do you think I'm an idiot? And she goes, I've seen Boys in the Hood. It's a good movie to check out. It's pretty funny.
All right. We can get started. I hope everybody's having a good week. How's everybody doing? Just real quick, welcome everyone that's streaming with us, if you're streaming with us. You guys can join Chops and Coffee if you want. We do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday here on Zoom. You can jump in with us, chat with us, warm up with us. But if you're at home, you can just warm up with us. Grab your practice pad, your sticks, a pillow, whatever. And let's do some warm-ups. I left my coffee over there. I'm going to go grab that, and I'll be right back. All right. Been going to the beach every morning and getting in the water, actually. It's been freezing, but I feel so like rejuvenated, and I'm not doing that today though. I'm going to bed today.
Can I talk you into getting on a surfboard someday?
Yeah, maybe. See, this is the thing though. Like, I see seals in the water and stuff, and dolphins, and I'm like, no. And I don't have a wetsuit. It's like I literally go in and like dunk my head underwater, and then I like run out, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm powerful, yeah. And then I put my shirt on, and then that's it.
Yeah, no, that's insane without a wetsuit. The water's like 58 to 61 right now.
Yeah. But okay, so I like never felt more, I don't know, alive. Like my I have like a doctor kind of, I don't know, he's not a life coach, but he's kind of like that. He does alternative medicine, and he keeps telling me that I need to do like cold water therapy. So like cold showers, and I'm like, nah,
Super
bro.
beneficial, man. Like,
Yeah?
yeah, man. Yeah, have you guys ever heard of Wim Hof?
Yep.
No.
Yeah. Start looking into him. You'll he's called the Iceman or whatever, and
Okay.
it's crazy. They do like yoga for like 30 minutes out in the snow.
Oh my gosh.
It's all about breathing and stuff.
Yeah.
It's insane at first, but like everything you're talking about, the benefits are just insane. Like,
Yeah.
Dude.
That actually, for anxiety, to help you, like say you're in a situation where you start to feel like you're having an anxiety attack and you don't have medication or something, there's a thing called TIPP, and that first thing is temperature. And you need to they tell you go find the coldest source of water you can and get as much of yourself as you can under it for as long as you can.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the first thing you do, and then the other stuff after that.
Yeah, man. It's so it's not okay, so it's not like unbearable. Like, I've been in some water where it's like your everything in your whole mind and body is like, get me out of here, I'm in danger, you know. And this isn't like that. It's cold. It's like, oh man, it's like that kind of cold. But dude, it is like, first of all, it wakes you up, but second, I mean, you feel alive, you feel rejuvenated, you feel ready. And then the sun at that time of the day, you know, is giving you like, I don't know what it is, but it's giving you, it's all the right, like if you've ever done there's like I don't know what it's called offhand, but anyways, it gives you a lot of positive energy. And then the salt water is also giving you like negative ions or something that doctor was saying. So it's like that's why I go to the beach in the morning. People think I'm crazy, but and like the people jogging on the beach or whatever see this fool like in swim trunks jumping in the water, and they're like, are you really going in there? Like, they're looking at me like I'm crazy. But I saw a guy surfing yesterday morning in board shorts. He wasn't even wearing a wetsuit, and he was just like not even trying to get out of the water. He was just like in the water surfing, like loving life.
Yeah, Oceanside has a lot of old guys that have been surfing for decades. So you'll go up there, it'll be the middle of winter, it'll be freezing cold, and there'll be some guy in like cut off jean shorts out there, no shirt on, right? Just this, it looks like he like picked a piece of wood up out of the alley on his way out there, and he's like 8 times the surfer I'll ever be in my entire life. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, for me, it is about, you know, I don't know, my morning routine, getting my head straight and doing all that stuff. And it's been a really big change for me. But my point is, as far as just the idea of switching things up or doing something out of your comfort zone, for some reason, I think about these things and then it crosses over into my playing too, where, you know, never did I think I would be doing something like this, like Chops and Coffee, or never did I think I would just be jumping on the streaming platform and just playing whatever comes to mind, whether it's good or bad, and laughing at mistakes and, you know, butchering some of these warm-ups, but just being like, whatever. And it's kind of like even though it's not the same thing, but jumping in the water when it's freezing cold in the middle of winter is like also one of those things where it's just like, man, it has meaning for me. And it you know, it's probably not the same for you. And I'm not saying you guys got to jump in water, but switching things up and keeping it fresh and getting out of your comfort zone is something that is really great for artists and really great for creators like us and really great for drummers. So maybe it's something you can try. You know, so for some of us, even showing up here is like, I never thought, you know, some guys have expressed like, hey, you know, this isn't, I wouldn't have jumped in a room like this before. I'm one of those guys where it's like, man, I wouldn't have put myself in this position and been like, hey, I'm gonna play with a group of drummers. I would have been like, nah, I'm doing my thing over here, and you guys have fun being better than me, you know. That's just how I think, you know. So food for thought, you know. It's just something that has been like a change and a positive change for me, you know. And I'm sure you guys have similar stories, but also we were talking about that Hutch thing, and some of you guys saw the video in the chat now. And there's been some discussions going back and forth with that. It's pretty funny, man. That's been like the topic of the week. And I have a lot of mixed opinions about that. Like, I really agree with like probably 90% of what he's saying, but his approach, oh my gosh, I'm so over that approach. That negative yelling at people for no reason, making people feel like trying to prove you're the alpha male and threatening to come here and teach everyone how to play drums and all that stuff is so, that old school mentality so needs to change in our community. And that's why I think we do what we do. And that's why I think this is so special. And what we're doing with the Drum Brigade is really cool with stopping with that, man. Let's encourage each other. If somebody wants to expand their horizons, that's fine. I'm all about authenticity. And I think that's what I agree with Hutch. But I can't handle when somebody's trying to make me feel inferior or make anyone feel inferior and threaten me to come here and teach me how to play drums. Go ahead then, dude. Go ahead. What are you trying to prove? You're not the only drummer out there. So that's the only 10% of like what I don't agree with him, you know? Anyways, let's talk more about that after our warm up. I have a couple new ones that I pulled up today, and we'll see if we can get through them. They're just rudiment based warm-ups, like kind of like our Swiss triplet one. So I don't know which one we should do first. Let's do here, let me see which one I have. Okay. Yeah, I have this flam tap flamadiddle thing. The way this one works, it's kind of odd because we're used to playing our flam taps as eighth notes. But on this exercise, the flam taps are played as eighth note triplets. So there's three flam. Here, let me pull it up. There's three flam taps, and then it's flamadiddles. Flamadiddos. Come on. There we go. All right. You guys can see that, right? Let's see here. Let me move these. There we go. Okay, so so you see what I mean? It's not Swiss triplet, flam taps as triplets. So if it's slower, I think that's cool. It's something that we you know, like I said, every time I either teach flam taps or we do flam taps in our warm up, we either do them as eighth notes or 16th notes. But putting them in a different subdivision is something I really love. So playing them as eighth note triplets and then going to flam diddles. Just look at the sticking. If you guys are having trouble understanding this, it threw me off when I heard it. That flam tap thing threw me off. I keep wanting to do like Swiss triplets or flam accents. But anyways, And so the reason why there's 3 is so it allows us to switch hands. So it's an alternating thing instead of doing 2 like flam tap flamadiddle flamadiddle flam tap flamadiddle flamadiddle. It's like it's kind of the same, but this. All right, so let's try that. Everybody still with us? We're good. Everybody know what we're doing? I didn't see everybody. Is everybody cool? Thumbs up. We're good, kind of. All right, we're good. All right.
I have a question about this.
Okay.
I'm trying to sidetrack this, but in my experience, the only thing that makes triplets feel like triplets is an accent. Because if you just play alternating single strokes, I mean, flams aside, if you don't accent, then how does it have a triplet feel?
The way the notes are spaced out. So here, let me get a metronome. You can think of it that way, but this is going to be hard to feel like that accent. So it's the way that the notes are spaced. They're spaced in groupings of 3 for each beat instead of groupings of 2 or 4.
Yeah, I understand that the even triplet spacing is groupings of 3, but they should be the equal space between each note, including the groups of 3, right? Like there's not a bigger space between the groups. Everything's subdivided evenly. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm not understanding. I mean, I understand what a triplet feels like versus a rat-a-tat or whatever, like because a lot of times people will say like 1 and is a triplet, but it's not, or 1 and is, I mean, those are groupings.
Yeah, and so like that's a trippy thing where you're counting like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 versus 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a,
right.
Like,
a lot of times like guitar players that don't understand rhythm will call those triplets, and I'm like, no,
they're not.
Those are galloping Gerties.
I call them anchovies. Anchovies.
I think that's like you have to gain that's all about experience playing and intentionally having the metronome. And
right.
you have to intentionally understand like I'm playing triplets without accents. It's hard.
Let me hear triplets without accents, because I just try to play them and I'm like, it just sounds like I'm playing alternating single strokes.
You gotta try to keep the either the accent in your head or like I said, external metronome, and then you get used to hearing it that way.
I mean, to the listener, not to the player.
Yeah, it's hard for the listener.
It's still okay. So if you're hearing the accent, it's probably just because that's where the quarter note goes. So the quarter note is landing on where you would accent. But in this case, so let me turn up the metronome. This one. I can't count that and play that at the same time.
Okay, then try this. Play it without the flams.
So
let's play it without the flams. Okay, so now you hear how it's supposed to sound. Okay, now stop. So now add the flams. It should be the same thing. See?
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, that's the easiest way to figure it out. Because the flams is what's throwing you off. So play it without the flams. That way you hear how it sounds and you feel you get to see how it feels when you're playing it. So when you add the flams, that's the only difference.
Right.
I think Brian, you're trying to figure out in what context without the accent. You got to figure out your own context of where the triplets are. It's like you said, it's really hard. I count it out loud in my head, or I count it in my head and try to play the unaccented to get myself understanding what it is. But
right.
It's very hard for the listener without context. You're not gonna know.
That's the thing. I'm totally with you on, like, you know, internal clock or internal accent, knowing where the beat is falling. But I'm just saying, if you're not accenting it, then I don't know if the listener would, you know, hear or feel the triplet. You know, like if you're playing with people and you're like, oh, I'm playing triplets, and they don't know where that, you know, they kind of roll. But anyways,
if you hear it with the accent, then I mean, if you're playing just straight eighth note triplets, then that's just where the quarter note is going to land anyway. So that it feels like an accent anyway, you know?
Right. Just because you know where the beat is.
That's where the beat is. 16 note triplets. So it sounds like the accent is on the beat. I mean, every other. So yeah, man. I think, like, okay, so what Nat was saying too, like if the flam is just a little bit, you know, especially for our first warm up, then yeah, just play without the flam. So I always call them pizza toppings. So pineapple, pineapple, pepperoni, pepperoni, pineapple, pineapple, pepperoni, pepperoni. Maybe that'll help anyone who's like, you know. And then I think you got it, Brian. You got it, man. It's just like you want to hear that accent. But like it's also hard because this triplet, I mean this playing the flam tap is like a 2-note thing. It's a 3-note, it's a 2-note thing that we're forcing into three notes. So
I was trying to do it. Nat was saying, you know, just without the flams, just doing double strokes, where, you know, obviously like they're flip flopping because it's threes versus twos.
Brian, I have a thought that to appreciate the triplets without the accent, because like you're you're kind of like, I like music that kind of, there's tension and then there's resolution, right? So you're playing triplets like say 6, 12, 8 note triplet, bam, you're in on one, right, where you're supposed to be. And it's kind of nice to not have it spelled out, it's boom. And it's kind of nice to have it without the accents, you know. And move the accents around, not just on the first beat. You know, this could be, have a lot of fun with that.
This one threw me off too because of that same reason, you know, hearing flam taps like without the accents on the beat. It's like, what the heck is happening here? It just sounds like the time is like really bizarre. But man, I didn't know this. The first warm up, and we're already it's full on discussion. I love it. All right, let's get it. Let's go a little bit faster. Let's go to 80. All right, so blat doom blat doom blat doom blat da 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 blat doom blat doom blat doom da 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 da. One. Let me get a timer. Sorry. Here we go. 1, 2. Go. Hey. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Couple more. Last one. That's cool. That feels really nice. Let's go a little bit faster, hey? Flatu, 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 da da doo doo, da da doo doo, da ga 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 ga. 1, 2, ready, go. think I should have pulled a easier one for our first warm up of the day. This should have been maybe our last one, but anyways, let's get it, and then we'll get on our next one. 2, ready, go. Couple more. Last one. All right. So, yeah, like I said, even for me, when I first pulled this one up, when I first found this one, this isn't my, I didn't like make this one up. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. What's going on here? Shouldn't we play like flam accents or something as the triplet, or Swiss triplets? And then, and then when I started playing it, I was like, oh, I get it. It's making me switch. I get it. That's cool. And there's some other ideas I was throwing around, like maybe doing flam accents flam taps as triplets, and then your 16th note flam taps. So you're literally playing it in 2 different subdivisions for half of the measure. That I love that kind of stuff. I love playing the same rudiment or the same sticking pattern, but as different subdivisions. Really cool. All right, here's another one. All right, man. If this one's too hard too, then let's go to something that we know. But this one's bizarre to me because it feels like and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but so this is 5 strokes. 5-stroke roll. You're supposed to play these 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 5-strokes, and then you're playing like a 7-stroke. But the way that it's written is like inverted. So you're starting with your accent. Normally, whenever I've played 5-strokes, it starts with the diddles. Am I wrong? Or does your 5-stroke start with the diddles and end with the single note?
It's usually the way you said it, diddle first and then the accent. But you can do it like this way also if you like.
Okay, so I would call this an inverted 5-stroke. So you're starting with the accent, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left. And then the 7-stroke too, at the end, he starts with the single note and then does the diddles, which is inverted to me. It should be that should be your 7.
It's just flip backwards.
It flips, yeah. So anyways, but the way that this works, and this could be our chop today too, is you do so it makes us go around. So slowly, I cannot count this worth the accents too and play it at the same time. I'm sorry, but I can't do it. All right, so slowly. Let's see here. That's too fast. I like how it turns you around and gets you going. This is only right-hand lead though. We can stop and do it left-hand lead. It still feels really fast. Oh boy. Oh boy. 5s. Now that's throwing me off. Oh boy. So it's 5, inverted 5, inverted 5, inverted 5, and then inverted 7. Why did I gave this whole talk, this whole speech about like keeping it simple so that we can all participate. And then here I am like, it's an inverted 5. It's an inverted 5. I'm trying to keep
my influence, man. It's my influence, dude.
I'm just trying to keep it fresh, but and keep it so that we're not doing the same thing every week. But you guys let me know if this is just a little too much to like, we can, or I can do like a private Zoom thing to get anyone who wants to try to get them prepared so I can explain a little bit more. So I'm not just throwing sheet music up and being like, yo, here it is. The reason why I pulled this one up though is so you can do like those cool like jazzy drum fills.
Is that a flurry?
That's not jazz, man. That's not jazz.
There's a flurry. It's the hottest thing in jazz.
Was that a McFlurry? I'm going to McDonald's.
We should make a video, some kind of video. Drum Brigade should make some kind of video just called like the McFlurry. It's the new hottest thing. We just dump a McFlurry on our snare and start playing jazz.
Have you seen that guy that dumps paint all over his drums and then plays?
He's like the hottest thing on TikTok, man. He's like most watched drummer.
Crazy.
All right. So does everybody want to try this, or should we just move on? I can post this in the thing so we can all practice this if we want to just like move on to something else. If this is out of our realm this morning. I pulled 2. I should have saved like one of these for Friday, and one of them, I just pulled like some really ones. Like this would be good for chops and coffee. And then in the morning you're like, wait, hold on. I have another kick drum exercise that we can do too. It's really easy. It's not hard at all. All right, let's do that. I'll still share this in the group chat thing, so you can use this and work on it and all that stuff. But yeah, let's check out this.
I have a question though, Corey.
Okay.
Oops. How do you I couldn't read the 2 R's on the. I know that. How do you play that? The last one.
Okay, so let me pull it up again. I love that you guys are like, I just love this. I love it when I can explain stuff like this, or at least attempt to, and I love when you guys are helping, the other guys are helping me out too. It's great. I love the questions. Okay, so so it's basically the same. He wrote it kind of weird. This should be 2 lefts, this should be 2 rights. This should be 2 rights, this should be 2 lefts.
Right, okay. That's why I was confused, because then at the end, how do you play that?
So it's just basically implied, like you're just supposed to know that this is this thing, because it's the same thing. It's just a line through it. So he wanted to specify though, I think, that this is not a 5-stroke, this is a 7-stroke inverted. Right, left, left, right, right, left. And then you repeat right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. So you're just basically adding another double instead of a single right here.
Oh, okay. So it's the same thing as the other one.
Yes.
Mark through it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So
I thought it was like 30-second notes there or something.
Yeah, I mean, it technically is. You're just because you're doubling them.
Or 64th, the way that's written. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So 5 strokes. Your 5-stroke roll is right, right, left, left, right. Those are 5 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But he has it reversed. So you have your single stroke on the first note. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you switch to the other hand, since this is alternating. So it's a reversed 5-stroke roll. It's the same thing for the 7. The 7 is double, right, right, left, left, right, right, left is your 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But he has it reversed, starting with your single stroke first. Right, left, left, right, right, left, left. So that's why it's called the 5-stroke and the 7-stroke exercise. But it's so, like, even in this lesson where I got this from, he doesn't explain that it's reversed. It's technically not right. So it's confusing to every drummer when they first see this. Like, why is it reversed? Why are we starting with the single when it shouldn't be like that? So anyways, so yes, reversed 5-stroke roll, reverse 7-stroke roll. But if you start just reading the accents and stuff, then it becomes a cool. And that last part just flips you back around, because if you put a 5 there, it would still work. You know, you just end right on the last note. So yeah. So that's what it'd be like if it was 5. You'd have to, well, you can't see what I'm doing, but you'd have to put an accent at the end and a single stroke, and then you'd have, if you repeat, you'd have those 2 accents left, right, like really quickly. Anyways, I'm probably confusing you more. The fact that the left, left, right, right, left, left is there is cool, because it makes you accent on the beat again. So if you play that as a drum fill, that accent you're already doing, and that could be a cymbal crash or something like that, where you're coming, you use that as a fill. So what I mean is, if I'm using this as a fill, I can come back in with a beat. Anyways, that's why I think it's cool in my mind. If that makes any sense. I hope I'm not confusing everybody even more. That's why it makes sense to me. Or you can loop it around, and yeah, it's cool. I like it. All right.
So sorry. Now you're not confusing me, because that makes sense. But now I'm wondering, the time is different then, because you have to fit 7 strokes into.
No. So it's because it's so the way 5s work. Well, this is over. This is spaced out, so you can see the notation where it's in over 16th notes. But then we're doing diddles, which makes those notes 30-second notes. So it's still evenly spaced. Why the timing sounds weird is because of the accents. We're accenting 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, yeah. So timing is not going anywhere. If we just play this as non-diddle notes, 1E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and starts feeling like triplets because those accents. So what it's saying here, sorry for the other guys that know how to play this. I'm like just explaining this like it's a lesson. But anyways, it's every 3 notes, right? So accent, so that would be 1, 2, 3, and then accent again. 1, 2, 3, accent again. 1, 2, 3, accent again. 1, 2, 3, accent, but now you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why it sounds like the accent. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That might make more sense. Even though that's not the timing of this measure, that's where the accents are laid out. And that might help you to play that a little bit easier. Daga-doo, 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 daga-doo-goo, daga-doo, 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 daga-doo-goo. And then you start putting in the rolls.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
This ties into like what Brian was talking about, the accents and the pulse of the triplets.
Right.
Because you can kind of think of this as almost, or your brain could perceive it as triplets.
Right.
So you're playing back, which is really cool. But that's why like I said, you make a mental note and try to count it out loud, like So I'll be like 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E, like really like dig it into my head, so my brain can like understand it.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put
Pretty
it too,
cool.
because it's this is one of the biggest hurdles for me to get over was like I don't understand why this is not triplets. Like why? Like and it's once I started looking at the sheet music, then it was like, oh, okay, like if you like you just said, you get that in your brain where those accents are 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and like it's like your brain can trick itself into immediately thinking that's triplets. And then when you hear regular 16th notes, or when you hear triplets, then you're like, oh, those are 16th notes. And it's like it's just the way your brain works. So
I think it would be cool to play a measure of eighth note triplets unaccented, followed by accented, and then go back and forth, because your sticking doesn't change except for the.
So that is now that is something that I well, let's see here. So
Trust the sticking.
This is another one of those Mike Dawson things. All right, so it would be like pineapple, 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 pineapple. Let me play that on the snare. So
Wait, I don't know if it's me, but it sounded like the tempo changed.
Right, Jeffrey?
He's playing the triplets, like he's playing a measure of triplets and then a measure of 16th notes, but he's accessing every third note.
Right.
So that's what he's doing right now, which is kind of like it would be not. It's not too close to like a triplet is, but it's really cool.
It was cool, yeah. I was thinking just exactly no change in the sticking at all, like monotone, and then just accenting, just like it. I don't know. I mean, it was fine too. I got the feel of that.
So basically, I wasn't accenting the triplets, but then I was accenting every third note or every first note on the 16th notes. So I was just switching between triplets, eighth note triplets, and 16th notes.
Right.
That's really it's like a simple concept that's extremely difficult. It's like, so it's just eighth notes and 16th notes. We all know that, but then when you switch that accent to where you're accenting every third one, it's really crazy and it's really nuts. It sounds like, I guess that's like the beginning of like, I don't know if that's technically a metric modulation, but
that's exactly what I was just gonna ask. Is that is that what that is? Is that what metric modulation is? It like sounds like it changes speed, but you're not kind of, you're just changing
I mean, technically, okay, so yeah, that's a whole nother element, and this is where I can get in trouble because I don't teach that kind of stuff. I don't know that kind of stuff really well. I don't play that stuff. I do but it's like kind of like I technically, yes, it feels like you're doing a different tempo, but you're not. You're just doing a different notation, and you're still keeping the accents every three. So that is basically how it works, where you're not the drummer knows where the timing is, or some of these bands, they keep where the timing is, but it's just I have an example somewhere of a metric modulation like beat. I'll have to pull up. I can try to look for that and have that for Friday. But yeah, interesting stuff. Like I guess that's Jeffrey. More than I.
I was gonna say I'm gonna plug my Instagram. I have a little Instagram video where I'm doing an exercise from Rich Ditzel, which is kind of like a polymeter thing where I'm playing. So I'm playing just in 4/4, but it's actually what is it, like triplets? So 1, 2, 3, 4. boom bop bop boom bop bop, and on top of that, I'm playing groups of going from groups of 1, groups of 2, groups of 3, groups of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and go back. It sounds cooler than what it is. It doesn't sound that cool, but it's actually helps your brain out trying to get into groupings of stuff. But like I said, it's not musical. It's very forceful, but it helps your brain wrap yourself around these things.
Yeah.
I want to try to clap what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before was
Okay, so you want a measure of no accents and then a measure of accents.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
It's the same thing with the same triplets with and without accents.
Okay, yeah. So just regular triplets. I'm playing a little crescendo there. Here we go.
Or try without.
No, that was right. That was good. It's
try
just
without
so
the hi-hat.
Okay.
Without the hi-hat.
Still accenting on that beat, but so the march, like drum corps guys would be ripping me apart right now for crescendoing like
I think the point that I was acknowledging in myself when you had the original flam triplet exercise is that for me, it's really hard to play triplets without accenting.
yeah.
You know, it's
I'm gonna share a thing I have in the chat where I wrote it a long time ago, so it's janky. Oh, I lost my camera here. But one of the things that you can try is maybe we should try to do this, is the same thing that we've been doing with the oh gosh, come on. Here. There we go. The same thing that we've been doing with the 16th notes. So like we've been moving it over a note, like 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E. You can do the same thing with triplets. So 3 and a 4 and a 1 E. All right, so you're just moving the accent over one beat every time, or every measure. That might be something useful. You could do the same thing with 16 note triplets, but that's pretty
That was a Chops and Coffee shirt for the diagram, right?
Oh, which one?
So to put like what it was, Chops coffee, Chops coffee.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh yeah, that one drawing, that one shirt.
Oh, that's what that was. I was wondering what that.
Yeah, I know. My shitty ass handwriting. You put in somebody who actually knows how to graphic design. It looks a lot cooler. But the idea was that it was accented triplets, and it changed each line. So if you read left to right, it's chops and coffee. Then the middle one was chops and coffee, and then the last is coffee. And then when you look down diagonally, it says chops and coffee.
Oh, that's cool.
That was the idea behind it. And then there's the little triplet bracket over the top. But get somebody with a graphic design background to do it, it'll look way cooler.
That's a great idea.
But I draw like a 7-year-old, as you can all tell.
I didn't even notice. I was just like, I just thought about the design of like, oh yeah, cool, chops and coffee. I get it. That's cool. But thinking about it like in triplets, that's cool, man.
Chops and coffee is like a paradiddle.
Actually, I think it was a paradiddle. Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah.
I used to like
the triplet right now, but it was the forum.
Paradiddle triplets. I used to like moving the accent throughout the paradiddles. You know, like.
Yeah, that's hard for me. I have to really like that. You saw like when Mike Dawson did the chops and coffee. My brain was just not handling that in the morning. It was so hard. That's something I need to really work on, though. I need to really focus on that and do it. Oh, you have it right there, huh?
I had to print it out because
Yeah,
gotta look at it, like really look at it.
it's the same thing though. It's like it's so simple, but it's just so hard for my brain to comprehend it, you know, and then to be able to execute it. So, very cool. Like, yeah, man, I like this. You know, MJ, how are you feeling about, like, you know, topics? And you guys can all chime in any way and give your opinion on this stuff. What's that?
Did you ask me about politics?
No, I said, how are you feeling about this? Like, you know, roundtable.
I try to, because I've never been brought up with rudiments. I think of it, I want to hear that exercise musically. Like, please, I want to hear it, and I want to hear it how I feel. I don't want to lose the time.
Right.
It's this place, and it's cool. And it's kind of like what we did with just a measure of 4/16 notes where the accents are in groups of 5, which is really cool, right?
Yeah.
And so it reminds me of that, and I like it. I want to be able to understand it musically with 4 groups of 4/16 notes, and then let out hear it when it sounds like. It's really cool. Like when you play a tempo, it's awesome. It's great. And so for me, it's a road to getting it more musical.
Get around the key. Yeah, that's really essentially. I tried to pull that one this morning. It's just
kind
of jazzy. Those sound. I mean, that can unlock so much to where, you know, even if you're just go ahead.
But when I'm playing with other musicians, I want to hear that sound musically rather than say, I'm going to do that special music. You know what I mean? I want to hear it so that I think I'll wind up helping the music more if I hear it. Practicing that way gives me that vocabulary.
Right, exactly. So that's the thing I've been getting into with a lot of my friends, other teachers and stuff, is, you know, not necessarily teaching verbatim, like, okay, so we're going to start with the floor tom, then we're going to play a diddle, and then we're going to play the rack, and we're going to just switch. It's like, just learn that concept, and then maybe let's put that into a different subdivision like we did with the slam taps this morning. And then you build your own creativity off of that and add that to your vocabulary where that comes natural for you, rather than just, like you were saying, like not just here's a lick and it's only this lick. Like, use it however you.
Right.
I'll give you some ideas, but, you know, like, very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, thank you guys for the questions. It's really cool. It really brings, like, it brings life to it turns into more of a discussion rather than just me like, here's something we can play. So yeah, please never feel bad about asking, like, if you don't know what something exactly is. I love the idea of that. And I love the idea of everyone trying to, like, kind of help.
Chops and coffee, but it should be chops and coffee, give me a day. Chops and coffee, give me a day. It's just
dude, I use so many of those, like bucket of fish for that Bonham lick. That's like I call that bucket of fish. I think everybody calls it bucket of fish. Single stroke 4.
We do that. You know, I was watching the video the other day where he plays with his hands.
Oh yeah.
How does he not kill his hands and ever be able to use them again? It's unbelievable. Physically, he's just a freak.
It's crazy. It's like, in the heat of the moment, I guess it's like, man, but I played a percussion gig one time, and it was like 5 minutes. I was like, like my hands were just killing me. And I'm horrible at percussion. Horrible. But like, I was just one of these things where I just was like, they needed it, and they needed a percussionist. And I was like, I don't really do it. And they're like, it doesn't matter, man. It's just, we just need you in the band. And like, I borrowed somebody's congas and was just like, oh my God, my hands were red and pounding. And it's like, crazy.
Yeah, I played in I don't play percussion that well either, but I played in this Afrobeat band where I sub in every once in a while for congas, and I'm like, I don't play congas. They're like, same thing. They're like, oh, don't worry, man, just play 16 notes and you'll be fine throughout the whole thing. And it's Afrobeat, so they're playing like these 15-minute, 20-minute songs.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah. You learn quick how to like use your wrist and not, but you learn because of experience.
Right.
You don't want to hurt your hands again.
Well, the next gig I saw the percussionist, he was like playing next to me, and then I saw that he was not like hitting it like how we hit our drums. It was like he was hitting it in the right spot and using the right technique, but he was not hitting it hard. It was just like very light. And I was like, oh, that's where I got it wrong.
Also, how much tape did he have on his hands? Because
he didn't have much. Dude, you guys would have laughed if you would have seen me. I didn't have the cool white tape that percussionists use. I had like gaff tape, and by the end, like by the second set, I looked like I had baseball mitts on my hands, like just every finger like wrapped, like big giant sausage fingers, like still trying to play. It was so funny. I never did another gig though. It was like I did it. That gig was Fig. Tim Newton was on drums, and then I was on percussion, and then he kept going, just jump on the drums. And I was like, I don't want to play in front of this guy, man. I'm like super nervous. Like me and Fig were like friends, but I don't know if you guys have seen Fig play, but he's insane. It's basically like Eric Moore playing next to you. And then he's like, all right, let's just switch. And you're just like, bro, we're like friends, but I'm like trying to just play like pocket, like, yeah, man, we're killing it. Like I can't do any like fills because I'm just in my head, and like, yeah, it was fun. So, yeah.
You're a great drummer, Corey.
Thank you. That was years ago though, like where I was like, I was just like really nervous. I would shed with Fig all the time, and like, I had a lot of fun with him, but like it was just one of those gigs where I was like, I'm here on percussion, I'm out of my element, my hands are pounding, I got to jump on drums while he jumps on percussion, and he's like watching my fills, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's one of those things. It's how drummers think, right? All right. Anyways, this is a really fun one. So I'll try to. Maybe we'll revisit like the triplet one or something like that. I'll post these in the download thing so you guys can download them, and then you guys can work on them if you want to. And then I'll try to, we'll have another one on Friday, and maybe I'll get to that kick drum one on Friday. It's really easy. It's just different permutations where you're steady 4/4 on your hands, and then you're moving your kick. I posted that already in the chat. So. All right, guys. So, thank you guys. Yeah, and thank you guys for everyone that's streaming with us. If you guys want to join, please just use the contact form on Chops and Coffee page. Fill it out, and I'll send you the link. All right, guys. I'll see you guys on Friday. Have a great week. Have a great hump day.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks again for everyone